Okay, get this. What if I told you that the hardest rock you could find and the lightest wisp of a flame were secretly the exact same thing, just wearing a different costume? Sounds kind of wild, right? Well, that's the incredible idea we're diving into today. It comes from an ancient Greek thinker, Anaximenes, and his theory was that everything, and I mean everything, is just air.
You know, the very first philosophers were obsessed with one huge question. They looked around at this crazy, diverse world. You've got fire, water, rocks, clouds, and they thought, hang on, is this all just some big cosmic magic trick? Or is there underneath it all one single ingredient, one fundamental stuff that everything is actually made of?
So this one question basically kickstarts philosophy in the Greek city of Miletus. See, instead of just saying the gods did it, this trio of thinkers decided to use reason. First up was Thales. His big bet? Water. Everything's made of water. But his student, Anaximander, was like, no, too specific. He suggested something boundless, undefined, something he called the apron. And then comes our guy, Anaximenes. He looked at his teacher's idea of this boundless thing and thought, okay, I like that, but let's make it something we can actually observe.
And that's where Anaximenes' big idea comes in, and it's just a brilliant compromise, really. He wanted that single source to be infinite like the apron, but he also wanted it to be something real, something tangible that you could actually, point to.
Now, the Greek word for this ultimate source is arche. And let's be clear, this wasn't just some science experiment to find the first ingredient on the cosmic recipe card. No, this was a deep philosophical search for the single principle that governs everything, like finding the source code for reality itself.
So what was his answer? Air. Yeah, just air. And while that sounds almost too simple, it was genius. Air had the best of both worlds. It was a real physical thing you could feel, like water, but it was also everywhere, seemingly infinite and always moving, just like that abstract apeiron. It was the perfect bridge between the concrete and the infinite.
Okay, but here's where Anaximenes really, and I mean really, changed the game. See, it wasn't enough for him to just say, hey, it's air. He was the first one to propose a mechanism, an actual physical process to explain how air can turn into all this other stuff. This, right here, this is a huge leap. It's not just philosophy anymore. This is the birth of scientific thinking.
And his mechanism? It was beautifully simple. It all came down to two opposing forces you see right here. Rarefaction, which is basically spreading air out, and condensation, which is packing it all together. This was absolutely revolutionary. For the first time ever, someone was explaining different qualities, like why something is hot or cold, not as some magical property, but as a result of a change in quantity. It all just depends on how much air is packed into a space.
Just follow the path here, and you can see his entire universe unfold. You start with air in its normal neutral state. Spread it way out, that's rarefaction, and boom, you get fire. Now go the other way. Start packing it in tighter, condensation, and it becomes wind, then clouds, then water, then earth, and finally stone. It's this incredible continuous spectrum where everything is just a different version of air.
And the best part? The absolute best part is that he proved his theory with a little experiment you can do right now. Go on, purse your lips and blow on your hand. It feels cool, right? Well, that's compressed, dense air, condensation. Now open your mouth wide and just breathe on your hand. It's warm. That's rarefied, less dense air. It's amazing. With our own breath, he demonstrated his entire cosmic principle.
But just when the whole theory seems perfectly tied up with a bow, the story takes a fascinating turn. The thing is, Anaximenes didn't leave any original books behind. Everything we know about him comes from what other people wrote. And this has sparked a 2,000-year-old mystery. What did he really mean?
And the core of this whole mystery is this. When air becomes a rock, is the air still in there somewhere, just packed super tight? Or is the air totally gone, destroyed, and replaced by this new thing we call rock? In other words, is the substance the reality, or is the process of change the reality?
And this one question split two of the greatest minds in history right down the middle. So think of it like this. On Team Aristotle, it's like H2O, right? You've got ice, water, and steam. They all look and feel different, but chemically, they're all still H2O. The substance itself never really goes away. That's the material monist camp. But then you have Team Plato. He saw it more like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. The caterpillar is literally gone. It's been replaced by something totally new.
For him, the transformation itself is the only thing that's real. That's the process philosopher view.
So, why should we care about this 2,500-year-old debate? Well, because whichever side you land on, Anaximenes' whole approach laid the very groundwork for modern science. He was basically building the operating system for how we analyze the world.
I mean, his influence was just immense. He gave us the first physical mechanism for change, the first real link between qualities like heat and quantities like density, and even some of the earliest theories for weather and cosmology. The point is, he wasn't just guessing. He was building a system, a powerful one, that would shape scientific thought for centuries to come.
And this leads us to what might be his most beautiful and profound insight. See, the ancient Greek word for soul, psyche, is also the word for breath. Anaximenes made this incredibly powerful connection. Just as our own breath, our soul, holds our body together, he believed that a universal breath, air, holds the entire cosmos together. We are literally a small-scale version of the universe, animated by the exact same stuff.
So in the end, the enduring mystery of Anaximenes teaches us something really important. History isn't just a set of facts that we dig up out of the ground. It's a story we interpret, one that's constantly being reshaped by the people who come later. His simple, elegant idea that everything is air forced us to ask these massive questions about reality, about change, and about how we even know what we know. And these are questions we are still debating today. So the next time you look at the world around you, ask yourself, are you seeing a collection of things, or are you seeing a series of transformations?
Anaximenes famously argued that air is the arche, or primary substance, from which all other elements, such as fire, water, and stone, are created through the physical mechanisms of rarefaction and condensation.